whenever I'm here, you get wherever I'm at. So Exodus 6 is the chapter right after the first time Moses and Aaron have been to see Pharaoh. And Pharaoh has said, "Who is God? Who am I? I don't know any God. I don't know the Lord. I am not going to do what the Lord says for me to do." And Moses and Aaron left pretty devastated at that point. And we pick up the story here with a conversation he has with God. So listen for the word of the Lord for you this day. Then the Lord told Moses, "Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. When he feels the force of my strong hand, he will let the people go. In fact, he will force them to leave his land." And God said to Moses, "I am Yahweh, the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Shaddai, God Almighty. But I did not reveal my name Yahweh to them. And I reaffirmed my covenant with them. Under its terms, I promised to give them the land of Canaan, where they were living as foreigners. You can be sure that I have heard the groans of the people of Israel, who are now slaves to the Egyptians, and I am well aware of my covenant with them. Therefore say to the people of Israel, I am the Lord. I will free you from your oppression and will rescue you from your slavery in Egypt. I will redeem you with a powerful arm and great acts of judgment. I will claim you as my own people, and I will be your God. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God, who has freed you from your oppression in Egypt. I will bring you into the land I swore to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will give it to you as your very own possession. I am the Lord." So Moses told the people of Israel what the Lord had said, but they refused to listen anymore. They had become too discouraged by the brutality of their slavery. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go back to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and tell him to let the people of Israel leave his country." "But Lord," Moses objected, "my own people won't listen to me anymore. How can I expect Pharaoh to listen? I am such a clumsy speaker." But the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron and gave them orders for the Israelites and for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. The Lord commanded Moses and Aaron to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt. These are the ancestors of some of the clans of Israel. The sons of Reuben, Israel's oldest son, were Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. Their descendants became the clans of Reuben. The sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul. Shaul's mother was a Canaanite woman. Their descendants became the clans of Simeon. These are the descendants of Levi, as listed in their family records. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Levi lived to be 137 years old. The descendants of Gershon included Libni and Shimei, each of whom became the ancestor of a clan. The descendants of Kohath included Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Kohath lived to be 133 years old. The descendants of Merari included Mali and Mushi. These are the clans of the Levites as listed in their family records. Amram married his father's sister, Jochebed, and she gave birth to his sons Aaron and Moses. Amram lived to be 137 years old. The sons of Izhar were Kohath, Nepheg, and Zikri. The sons of Uzziel were Mishael, Elzaphan, and Zithri. Aaron married Elisheba, daughter of Amminadab and sister of Nashon, and she gave birth to his sons Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. The sons of Kohar were Azahar, Elkanah, Abiasaph. Their descendants became the clans of Kohar. Eleazar, son of Aaron, married one of the daughters of Putiel, and she gave birth to his son Phinehas. These are the ancestors of the Levite families, including listed according to their clans. The Aaron and Moses named in this list are the same ones to whom the Lord said, "Lead the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt like an army." It was Moses and Aaron who spoke to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, about leading the people of Israel out of Egypt. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the land of Egypt. He said to him, I am the Lord. Tell Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, everything I am telling you. But Moses argued with the Lord, saying, I can't do it. I'm such a clumsy speaker. Why should Pharaoh listen to me? Thus ends the reading of God's holy word. And I bet you're all very glad that you didn't have to read those names. A little tough. A lot of tough. So, what happens when God asks us to do something? And God asks each one of us to do something. Whether we know it, recognize it, or not. But what happens when, like me, God asks you to do something beyond your comfort skill, or your comfort zone, beyond the box that you are used to performing out of, organizing out of, working out of? What if God says to you, I am your God, and I want you to go to the homeless in Lyons? And don't tell me there aren't any homeless in Lyons, because I know better. You're going to go, well, sure, God, I'm just so excited to do that ministry. Just send me out there. Or are you going to go, I don't think that's my cup of tea. I think you better send somebody else. Or if God should say to you, feed the hungry, and you're on a limited income of Social Security, and it's not that much. And they never give you raises, do they? 10 cents? Maybe? What happens then? God says, you go and you feed. And you're counting your pennies and you're going, I barely have enough to pay my bills myself. Are you going to go, yes, Lord, I'll go right out and I will take care of that now, somehow, some way? What happens when God says to you, I want you to be a Sunday school teacher? Not me. I can't deal with kids. Sometimes little ones cry. I don't know what to do with them. Sometimes if they're still in diapers, I'd have to change a diaper. Ooh. I can't do that, God. Or do you say, yes, I'm up for the challenge. I'm excited. I will teach Sunday school. Because those kids are important. I have on today this beautiful bracelet. Do you know where I got this beautiful bracelet? One of the kids at Junius, who comes without any parents, any support from home at all, made this for me on Wednesday night when we went to see the movie I Can Only Imagine. And he had a whole bunch of them, and he said to me, which one would you like? And I said, you pick one out for me. And I made sure I put that on today, even though it may not be my first choice. It's my first choice in my heart, because he did something for me, because at that movie, because, not just at the movie, because as he's been coming to Junius, I have reached out to him with love, care, and concern. And I'm not sure he gets a whole lot of that at home. And God said to me, reach out to this kid. And I could have said, I'm busy. Ask Carol. We just looked at my calendar. I'm busy. I don't have time. But instead, whenever this kid needs a ride to anything at church, guess who goes and picks him up? A lot of people, but also me. Gives me time in the car to listen to him, to hear what's going on in his life, to find out. We all get called to do things that we're not comfortable with. But you know, if we listen carefully, God also gives us good news ahead of the call, just like he did with Moses. Did you pick up what God said to Moses he was going to do for the Israelites? I have my cheat sheet today. I don't usually do that, but I needed it today. Did you pick up what God said he promised to do? He promised to free his people. Free his people from slavery. He promised that. That's good news, folks. He promised people. Good news. I will be your God. I will be your God. Good news. And you will know me. Good news. And what is Moses' response in all of this? I can't do it. I can't speak very well. I went before Pharaoh and he said no. I can't go back there again. And not only that, I went to my own people. And they didn't want to listen to me. They said they were too discouraged. I can't do this. Sound familiar? Any of you ever say, I can't do this? I can't deal with this illness that God has given me. I don't like being sick. I'm a busy person. I want to be busy. And I forget. You forget. We forget. God heals if we ask for healing. May not be the healing we expect, mind you. Sometimes it means going to be with God, and that's the healing. But God does heal. That's good news. Man, I don't like getting 65 in school because my grandmother's going to get after me. Is that grandma sitting next to you? No. Okay. Just checking because she was looking at me. Oh, you're getting some advice in the back. I can't do any better than 65. I've heard kids actually say that to me. I've had youth group kids look me in the face and say, I'm not smart enough to get A's. And I look at them and I go, you are too smart enough to get A's. They don't buy into it. And if you don't buy into the possibility, what happens? You don't do it. I think that's part of our saying to God, no way, no how for me to do whatever you're asking, because we think we can't. We don't see our potential. We think we're stuck in this box that we have created. I'm moving, sorry. I'm still okay? Okay. We think we are this person in this box. And anything outside of this box of who we think we are, forget it. We can't do it. But God knows our full potential. How can we say no to God? After 6 years of fighting God, I finally went to seminary. And when I was in seminary, I had a Hebrew teacher, and I hated Hebrew. If you don't know, Hebrew you read from right to left. The alphabet looks nothing like the English alphabet, unlike the Greek alphabet is pretty similar. Greek I could do all day. Hebrew I hated with a passion. I just wanted to get done with the class. I was in an exegesis class with Walter Brueggemann, who is a big name for Hebrew and Old Testament studies, and every single day he called on me to give an answer to something. Me! I hated it. I had to have my homework done. Nobody else in the class had to worry about it because they all knew he's going to call on Ellen. And they said to me, what did you do? And I said, I don't know, but I don't like it. Wish he'd call on some of you. But you know what I learned? One day I said to him, I don't know the answer. And he looked me in the face and said, yes, you do. Stop and think about it. And I stopped and I thought about it. And you know what? I did know the answer. It felt like a guess to me, but it was the answer. I could do Hebrew. Don't ever take a Hebrew class. That's my word of advice. I could do it. And after that, I began to say to myself, Ellen, if you can do Hebrew, you can be a pastor. If you can do Hebrew, you can pastor not one church, but two. If you can be a pastor and do Hebrew, and you can do 2 churches, why not 4 churches, which is what I'm doing now? You're not stupid, Ellen, because when I grew up, that was the word. That was the word I got, not verbally, but that was the whole tone of my childhood was, you're not good enough. I am good enough. You are good enough. You are good enough to do whatever God calls you to do, even if you think it's pretty zany and off the wall. And sometimes when God calls us to do things, it is pretty zany and off the wall. Like the day that there was a woman, how am I doing on my time, okay? I got plenty of time. Okay, like the day I was at Oaks Corners, and a friend of mine who was a member there came up to me before the 9 o'clock service, in tears, devastated, and said to me, "Ellen, they found a lump in my breast." And I cried with her. And it was hard to lead worship because she told me right before I went out to lead worship. And it got to be the prayers of the people. And in my head, I was hearing, not verbally hearing, but hearing God's voice say, "You need to lay hands on her, have everybody lay hands on her and pray for her healing." And I went, "Oh no, I've only been here a short time and they'll really think I'm way out there if I do that. Nope, I'm not doing that, God. There's no way, no how, no possibility, none, nada, forget it." And I got through the prayer of the people, and after all of this going on in my mind, I just had to stop, and I'm still arguing with God. I'm going, "Can't do this. You've got to be crazy asking me to do this." I gave up and I said, "I'm sorry, but I feel like God is asking me to have you come forward and place hands on you to pray for healing. Are you willing to do that?" And she was, and the congregation came up, and we all laid hands, and I prayed for healing for her. Nothing magical, mystical, I just did what I felt like God told me to do. She went off, and I was with her husband the day she had that lump removed. And the doctor came in that waiting room, and I knew it was bad. Bad, bad news. He didn't say it was cancerous, but he didn't say anything about it being benign. I knew it was bad. How was I going to support this family? They went home, however long it takes to get the reports back from the labs. Found out later the doctor sent the lab work back 5 times because he was sure they had made a mistake. 5 times it came back benign. But when he took that lump out, it looked like a malignant tumor, and he was well-versed in doing this kind of thing. To this day, she is cancer-free. What if I hadn't done what I thought God was telling me to do? I really felt awkward. I probably feel kind of awkward telling you this story because you're probably thinking I'm really way out there now. I'll never be invited back to Lyons. But anyway, what if I hadn't, though? Would the outcome have been the same? I don't know. I just did what I believe God called me to do. Even though I argued, just like Moses, I argued. But I did it. Because I can't not obey God. I've too many things have happened in my life that I know I just can't not obey God in whatever he asks me to do. And so when I hear God's voice, I try hard not to say, "I can't do it. I don't want to do it because it'll be hard." I challenge you to listen for that still small voice and do whatever it is you think you're hearing from God, even though it may make you feel way out of the box and zany and wacky like me. Oh, heaven forbid, we don't need another zany and wacky like me, do we? And anyway, I challenge you to listen for the still small voice. Do what God's calling you to do. This congregation has come a long ways. You can be proud of that. Keep on going. Keep on going. Keep reaching out. Keep doing the things you're doing. It's important for Lyons to hear the good news of God from you. Thanks be to God. Amen.